share my screen because this is courtesy of the Dollywood website,
Yeah.
actually. And this was brought to my attention by a good friend of mine, Kev, aka Mr. Tech Bear. And this is a new attraction that is coming to Dollywood. It's called Night Flight Expedition, and it's basically going to be a groundbreaking hybrid coaster and whitewater river ride. And they actually show different variation scenes of what the attraction is going to have with soaring, plunging,
That looks cool.
navigating. So I mean, there's different renditions that there's so many aspects that's going to be part of this ride, which actually looks very interesting. And I have to give kudos to Dollywood for, implementing a ride like this. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this of what I was told and what I've heard that this was going to be the ride system for potentially for uh, the creature from the Black Lagoon that was supposed to be part of the phase one, which never got into Dark Universe.
Yeah, the ride system is by Mac Rides. I think they have it. It's out in Europe in can't remember the park out there, but they just opened that one up like 3 or 4 months ago, and seeing this one here. So yeah, it looks like a very interesting ride where it's like this coaster hybrid water ride, which I think would be perfect for Creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm very curious. When we get done, I'll find the link and send it to you. But I've seen the ride footage of the one they have in Europe, and that one's not that well themed. It's like outdoors. This one looks much more indoors, which kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like this is what they would do with Creature from the Black Lagoon, is have it. You need indoor attractions anyways at Dark or in Epic Universe, but I think it seems like a ride system that's almost built for something like Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, and honestly, dare I say, it even gives off kind of like something that they would do for Avatar.
Yes, it kind of has that Avatar look to this right here too.
Yeah, it does. Like we're like right here, it has kind of like the bioluminescent forest kind of thing, and where you can implement where it's a hybrid of a coaster and a water ride, which basically you can kind of give the notion where it's like if you're flying on a Banshee and then you go into the waters of Pandora. I mean, that's something that Disney could possibly consider, and who knows? I mean, things could change because even though they showed us a piece of concept art, they really didn't start really anything on it, where we may be getting the ride system from Shanghai Pirates. But that ride system was high in technology at the time, but we are now like 10, 15 years down the road from that now. So I wonder if this would be kind of the answer to what Disney could possibly do. But I think honestly, Universal, if they still consider doing, which I still think that they are, for the Creature of the Black Lagoon, now part of phase 2, because there is that little expansion pad there. And I think honestly, Dark Universe needs it because it needs to expand out a little bit more.
It does need, it does. And they also need indoor attractions, which I think obviously from this, it looks like that's what it's mostly going to be.
Yeah.
What would be wild is I agree with you too. I think it would fit Avatar great. You could definitely do something with that. Like you're riding a Banshee, skimming the water, doing stuff. It also could, and some people might comments on when I talked about this a couple months ago, Jaws. You can do something with Jaws if you had the room on studio side. But I actually think this ride system, you're going to see this kind of get in a lot of parks because it's very like they used to. There was a ride I remember in Silver Dollar City when I was a kid. They had this coaster that at the very end it plunged into water, but it didn't last very long because I think of the maintenance of it ended up being too expensive. But this has been tried before, but this one seems to be very unique because when you're in the water too, it doesn't have the feeling like you're on a track. It actually has that free floating feeling, and then it kind of comes up. So it's got this very interesting ride concept. I would love it. I think, first off, I want to go to Dollywood. I've heard nothing but great things about Dollywood.
I want to go to Dollywood as well. That's actually on my bucket list for some places of traveling because I've heard the atmosphere is great, the food is good, and it just gives off that traditional like amusement park.
Yeah. Well, it's a sister park to Silver Dollar City, which I grew up going to. It's like 45 minutes away. And that's always voted like the number one Christmas theme park in the world, because now they have the Osborne Family Lights at Christmas. So it's Christmas Town is awesome. But it's a great park. It's clean. So I think it's very similar to Dollywood. And they also have cinnamon bread. And George, you will freak out when you have cinnamon bread. Like Dollywood and Silver Dollar City have the same cinnamon bread. It's worth a trip on its own. I can't even describe to you how, like, you will buy a loaf and it's gone, and then you're like, I want 3 more, and they make it fresh. Like it's amazing. But yeah, I do want to go to Dollywood as well. But I think this ride system, I'm stoked for it. Like, I just want this now because I think it would just be such a cool thing to. And I'm glad to see it come to the U.S. parks because Europe got it first, and Mac is technically, aren't they in Europe? I think.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Could you even see? Now, I know there's really not too much of water implemented in this franchise, but we did touch upon it a little bit. Can you even see them doing something like this with Back to the Future or Ghostbusters or something where it may not like look like this, but you're just combining 2 different rides into one system with one ride vehicle?
Yeah, it's possible. I am curious if they do Back to the Future, what do they do? Like, do they just do like a really updated simulator that's just, really high tech, not your cut of, what you've seen for 20 years or so? Yeah, I mean, you could probably do this about anything you can create a story to make any of these things work. I kind of think that's how they go with theme parks now and I think Cliff Flicks has said it before, essentially, the ride manufacturers are such a major part of all these theme parks now, is you essentially find this tech, you see it, and you're like, okay, how can we create a story around this new ride tech? You could have a lot of different theme parks looking at this right now that's thinking, how could we create a story? Where would we put it? And that's kind of the central point of building off of the ride itself. And because they typically don't go out and say, hey, we need a ride that is X, Y, and Z. They say, okay, here's what we're building. Okay, let's take this tech and put it in here and then create something around it. So you could probably make anything work. I mean, time travel could be you land in a river, and you go back in time for a little bit. You can do a lot of stuff where you could make that work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think honestly with this kind of ride system and ride technology, I think both Disney and Universal can utilize it and capitalize on it. And I think you're right. I think just the fact that it's coming to the US, and even though it's starting off in Dollywood, I feel like a lot of the theme park industries are going to be looking at this.
Oh yeah.
And kind of like letting Dollywood kind of be the guinea pig, so to speak, to see how it goes. And if it is a top tier, top notch attraction, which it looks like it's going to be, especially if Europe uses it, that I can definitely see other theme parks utilizing it for sure.
And what's interesting is like Dollywood and Silver Dollar City is building their first resort. They have really good coasters. Dollywood's expanding. So like you've got these, you've got your Disney World, your Universal Studios, and then you got these mid-tier parks that are kind of here in the Midwest. They're actually investing a lot of money. I think Silver Dollar City's spending like $500 million on the stuff that they're doing. So these parks are dropping a lot of coin. And I'm curious at what level they do this. Like if they really go all out, I'd be curious about the budget on this. You could definitely see, the big, Disney and Universal both looking at this and thinking, let's take this and put it in our parks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, like I've heard of it, but I didn't really get too much information on it until Kev actually sent me the link today. And I thought, well, we were going to have a conversation about like all things like with Universal and everything. And I thought, well, might as well bring this up now because
even One Piece.
Yes. One Piece utilize this.
Because doesn't the ship fly in One Piece?
I think so.
I mean, that would be perfect for One Piece.
Yeah. I mean, hell, if they even wanted to if Disney wanted to go, I mean, I know there's some controversy if they were to even touch Peter Pan, but if they wanted to update Peter Pan, they can kind of utilize it because you have the flying kind of like in the coaster form, and then in the water for like the pirate ship and what have you.
Make him the villain of the story that he is. I agree.
Yes.
Peter Pan's a villain. I've been saying this for years. I mean, he takes kids and he doesn't want to grow up. That's not a good guy. Come on. But no, you could. I mean, you could do a lot. Really, like the imagination is really the limit on this. Like, there's so many things you could do with a ride system like this. And especially in Florida, where water. I mean, I do think a hybrid ride system where there's water involved. you maybe don't get soaked, but you get a little water splashed on you. I think that would be perfect.
And you can honestly reverse it too of however you want the storyline to go. For like, you could start off as a coaster and then end it as a water ride, or you could start it as a water ride and end it as a coaster.
Yep. Yeah, I went all for it. And if Dollywood's leading the way, I'm like, hey, see what they do with it. When's it supposed to open? They say.
I believe it is. Let me see.
Because I will plan a trip around that.
Let me see. Does it mention?
They may not have a projected opening date yet.
Let's see. See 20. Now here's the funny thing. It's showing like the 2026 season pass, and it's showing
ride
like as like the headliner.
Maybe it is open in 2026. I mean, if that's the case, I will make a trip to. I mean, when we go back to Missouri, I think Dollywood's like 5 hours away, maybe. So I might go check that out if that's opening that soon. That'd be awesome.
Let's see. Did you know current season pass for 2026 now? October. Yeah, I'm thinking it's
okay. They did say, in addition, your amazing pass holder benefits, you'll get access to our exclusive Night Flight Expedition early special ride event. So it seems like
it would have to be in 2026.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. That they're really moving that.
That may also point to it may not be that like how themed out is it. Well, although they don't have to build a whole land, you're just talking about a single ride. They don't really do the themed lands necessarily, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like Disney and Universal do. So,
And there's really not like a lot going on with Dollywood where like they have like back-to-back projects. So like they could just focus on this where they would get it done much quicker.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's exciting, man. I do. I think I've heard a lot of rumblings that I think that'll be interesting about Epic is like what. I think they're going to announce something sooner than people anticipate. It's like, what are they going to announce? Like, I think Dark Universe makes a lot of sense to expand first because it's so small. But as well, you got Wizarding World could use more stuff. Then you have Nintendo. Like, where do they double down? What do they announce? How much do they announce? I think that's kind of where I'm kind of out.
And also, too, with D23 coming out next year for Disney, Universal already knows and anticipates that there is a possibility Disney may announce some things, whether big or small.
Yeah.
But Universal doesn't like really plan on letting fans know that they're going to announce something. But internally, Universal kind of looks at that and says, okay, well, if Disney announces something, let's make sure that we get something out there as well.
Right.
So I would say, honestly, we could hear maybe something by the beginning of the new year.
I think a lot of people anticipate that it's just going to be like 2 or 3 years down the road. And I was like, I just don't think it's going to be that long. Because I don't really even know at this point how efficient these rides can get with the wait times without adding more things to the park. And they want more people in there. So it's like they almost have to expand it. And, if they want 40 to 50,000 people in that park, they're going to have to just add more stuff to it.
Yeah. And Universal is the kind of company that like, they don't care about like spacing it out. Like Disney's more strategic of saying, okay, let's announce this much from this time frame, and then we'll wait a little bit.
Right.
We'll announce it here. Universal, when they want to drop something, they just drop it. They don't.
And I feel like this decade, they're just like pedal down, just like go. Like we're just they may build 4 rides at the same time. I mean, who knows?
They may. I mean, we may get a whole nother land in Epic. We may get whatever we're getting in Lost Continent. We may get whatever that's going to replace The Simpsons.
Yeah.
They're already building the kids park in Texas. We still need to know more about the UK park.
Yeah.
There's a lot even on stake for Universal.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Universal came out and confirmed. They actually confirmed about that Lost Continent construction, but they said it was for an unknown future development if they decide to develop the land. I'm like, I don't believe you. Like, I don't think you're going to go through all this effort to level this area. Just be like, just in case, like maybe down the road. I'm like,
yeah, I don't know about that. I'm sorry. I think once we start seeing the walls go up and the cranes coming out, it's like, okay, Yeah,
Well,
I
has
think
that ever happened before where a theme park has just leveled an area and then been like, we're not going to replace? I don't feel like that's something theme parks typically, that money and time you would spend. I mean, I guess if you, I just don't buy it.
unless they're waiting for like the proper attraction or IP for them to use, and they're just kind of leveling it out. But I would think that they would want to keep something open. And this is where I go back when I said I feel like that they were going to utilize the Lost Continent space much sooner. And
Yeah.
that's why they closed down Sinbad and Poseidon's Fury. And
Right.
when it didn't go their way, they're like, okay, we already closed it down. So we can't reopen it to then reclose it back down again.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we
And they
might
had a
as
whole big thing
well.
about, going away merchandise and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they're waiting until, I mean, they'll probably announce Rip Ride Rocket, what's replacing that, usually about a year before it opens. So maybe they say something around that same time as having this big barrage of stuff coming. Maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think honestly would probably know something about that sooner or later before anything else, because technically they already know what's going there.
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah.
leveled out the backstage area. They're dismantling the track. They know for a fact what's going there. It's just, but that's what makes me wonder that if it was just going to be a replicated, well, again, not like mirror to mirror replication of Fast and Furious, wouldn't they would just come out and just say that's what it is?
You'd think Universal even did this with Epic Universe. Like when they were building it, the only one we knew for sure was Super Nintendo World. But you had the wand with the hand on the portal, and they hadn't officially announced that it's going to be Wizarding World. And you're like, what else is it going to be? Like you can usually tell with Universal, like through permits or just how things are looking. And then but usually they wait. It's like a year before it opens, which I actually kind of like, because at that point you got a lot of anticipation. You actually start planning a trip for something around that line.
Yeah.
And then whereas Disney, I think a lot of times they announce stuff and then it takes 5+ years, and it's like you can't maintain that excitement level that long. You got that initial pop, and then you're just like, oh, they see what the construction's like. But yeah, Universal just likes to play the little coy game, which I'm okay with. Like, I like speculation. I think it's fun to talk about and see.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would rather. Here's the thing: I don't mind getting early concept art, but as long as if they were to say, you know what, and I'm speak about this with Disney, because Disney is notorious for doing this, is fans get married to what the concept art is, and it's like, this is just to give you an idea of what they envision, but this isn't going to be when it starts from A and ends with Z.
Right.
It's still going to look completely different.
Well, even Bruce Vaughn, I think, had made a statement about he was looking to change how they present concept art for that reason, like making it kind of more like even kind of saw that stuff with D20 or Destination D23 about a little bit. It looked like a watercolor painting on some level. Like you couldn't figure out details. I think that'd probably be a better way to go, because I still contend Villains Land's not going to look anything like that concept art they revealed.
Absolutely not.
No way. And yeah, I always tell people, like, don't dig into the details too much, because I mean they're just even in the early planning phases of that. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, because when you look at that piece of concept art, it does kind of give like that kind of mystifying, like watercolor kind of splurge, kind of like there's something that's like significant that you can kind of like pick out of what it is. But yeah, and they even said it at Destination D23. They are in like the earliest of early concept. Like they're going on their field trips to different places.
They're doing show and tells off of ideas at this point. They're not. Yeah, they don't have anything concrete.
Yeah, pretty much. Like probably at the next D23, they're going to show us a picture or a little video clip of Villain Mist. You know, that's
probably. Or like, here's a coaster. Are you going to use it? Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
Like,
we'll see.
You guys like it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Although that ride system, that water ride system, they could wind up putting that in Villains.
That's true too. That is very true, because you can kind of combine where maybe you start out like in the air, kind of like Maleficent as the dragon, and then you go into the water like the underworld with Hades.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So yeah, there's definitely a lot on the horizon with both Disney and Universal, and we'll be here because that's what we do, to cover all the breaking news, and we definitely enjoy it. So
oh yeah, it's fun.